My young love said to me, my mother won't mind, and my father won't spite you for your lack of kind. And she stepped away from me, and this she did say, it will not be long, love, till our wedding day. She stepped away from me, and she moved through the fair, and fondly I watched her go here and go there, and she went her way homeward with one star away, as the swan in the evening moved over the lake.
Get out of my way!
You're always so angry.
Caledonia, get back here.
Ta-da! He's back! Well, he's not actually back. He's not been repaired, he's been replaced. But he's still a laddie. Inside he's still a laddie. Psychically transferred. But he's back. A full replacement. And I'll be speaking just about the process of it as part of my agenda tonight. There we go. Let's put him aside for the moment. Now I'm assuming everybody can hear me. Everybody can see me. I always assume that. And I know assuming makes an ass out of you and me. But there you go. Well, at least, Paul, at least you saw it. I don't know if you heard it, but I hope you heard it as well. Aye. So Laddie's going to fly again. I'll get to that in a minute. I have a wee agenda. I've been preparing an agenda today, right? I prepared it for about an hour, so it should be all right. I'll probably veer right off it and it'll go all over the place, but I'll stick to it as much as I can. Okay, so thanks very much for everyone for turning up, and I'm sorry I missed you last week. There is a reason why I wasn't live streaming last week, and I made a video about it, and I posted the video to the members section of the channel to let my members know exactly why I didn't stream. And I'm going to play a tiny little bit of that video right now, and I hope this works the way it's meant to. We'll soon see. Let me see if I can just do 10 things at once here. I need two extra hands, but if I go to there and then press this button here, I'll only play 10 seconds of this. Hello there, just wanted to put a little video up to you members to let you know why I didn't live stream on Sunday. Nothing's wrong. No, I'm not in jail. Police didn't come back. I haven't been warned off or anything like that. I've received no updates, no notifications from the police or the Procurator Fiscal or anything about that. So that's enough of that, right? Okay, that's really for the members only. Let me see if I can get my own handsome face back on the screen there. I think I'm back. Right, that was just a wee sample of, for any of you are thinking, well, what's this members thing all about? What do we get? What's the point of it? That's the kind of thing that the members get. They get wee extra things that I don't put in the main channel. And while I'm on the subject of members, I just want to say a thank you to the members who my wee cursor's gone all over the place, it's gone mad tonight. I'd like to say a wee thanks to all of the members for being members, and that's my members on the channel are Mobile Homer, Willie Haddle, George Patterson, Blair Air, Alan, Wally Pie, Hands On, Mark Sullivan, who is our fantastic moderator in the channel and doing a great job as always, Derek Pask, Rani Mishan, John Wheatley. John, I'll answer your question about the wide angle lens very, very soon. Oh, I think my chat has stopped. I can't see what the chat's doing anymore. I wonder if I'm still streaming or no. I think I probably am, but we'll soon find out. The chat seems to have stopped. Anyway, Graham Lindsay, Angel Boostar, DJI High, Rab, Al McEwen, Jim Mollison, Jay Hamilton, Avgeek Bailey 15, Morpheus Sleeps, Lyle Budd, Stevie Elder, Drone Videos, and our newest member, or my newest member, Dougie Potter. So thanks very much for joining the channel and becoming members, and you'll know by now that you get some behind the scenes videos, some background stuff, wee chats and things like that normal subscribers to the channel don't get. So if anyone's thinking about why would I join, that's some of the stuff you can get. Anyway, moving along, I'm assuming that you can all still see me and hear me. I can see myself on this other screen. It's a bit weird because it's like 7 or 8 seconds behind and it puts me off, so I'll throw that screen away there. Right, the main reason that I didn't appear last week is because I was too ill, hence the reason I'm still on Lucozade, which is meant to aid recovery. It's no aiding my recovery very well, I can tell you that. But anyway, so let's go on with the agenda for tonight. So right, that was what I listed on the members. I mentioned Mark Sullivan there, Sullivan with 3 L's, who is moderating fantastically for me to save me trying to do an extra job that I've got enough jobs to do here as it is. Mark has his own YouTube channel. It's not a very big channel, but he could be doing with some extra subscribers, right? And he could be doing with some views. So Mark, if you can put a link to your channel in this chat, I don't know if you can or not, you're the mod and I'm no, and I don't know how to do anything, but if you can put a link to your own channel in there, please do. And if anyone would like to go and have a look at Mark's videos and support him, subscribe to it, I'd really appreciate that. Thanks very much. And it'll be a wee saying a wee thanks from me and from you for Mark, who's doing all of this moderating work just on his own. He's he's no getting paid. He's just doing it off of his own back, and thanks very much, Mark. Right, okay, so as I said, Laddie is back. And it's quite a good wee story with Laddie. And if you look at these are the stickers are still on him. I'm not very good at pointing to the stickers are still on him, and I peeled one off just before the live stream started here. So he's actually brand new. This is a brand new FPV, still Laddie, of course, right? It's a brand new FPV, and I'm going to show you a couple of the emails that I got back and forth from CoverDrone. I didn't take DJI insurance, with DJI Care Refresh insurance with Laddie, and the reason I didn't is because it's really expensive. Much more expensive than the DJI Care Refresh for a Mini 2 or a Mini 3. I can't remember exactly how much it is, but when I did have a look at it, I thought, oh, it was something like, I don't know, maybe £150 to pay for the Care Refresh, and then it was something another £150 excess you'd have to pay for any repairs, and I thought, that's awful pricey, I'll have a look around. So I looked to some other insurance companies, and one I found was CoverDrone, who I had already taken CoverDrone insurance for Lassie, my Mini 2, because my Care Refresh had run out, and they wouldn't give me it again. They only give you it once, I think. That's what they told me anyway. So I already had a Care Refresh. I already had CoverDrone insurance for my Mini 2. So I thought, let's have a look and see what it's going to cost me with the FPV. And I think it was about £100 or something like that to cover it. And they said that you would have to pay the £100 excess on any damage or repair or replacement. And I thought, well, that's a bit cheap. It's you know, a couple of hundred or 100 quid or whatever cheaper than Care Refresh from DJI. So I'll just take that. So I took it. And for those of you who do follow me and follow the channel, you'll know that a few weeks ago I crashed Lassie. I didn't actually crash her. Something malfunctioned and she dropped out of the air and her gimbal broke. And I sent her away to get a repair. And I discovered through the process, and I'm making a video about this whole thing, right? Now that it's all complete, I've started to put the video together. Stevie, I just noticed there that you saw in the chat, I've got the chat in front of me, but it's going past very fast, but I just noticed that you said you can get Care Refresh Plus for an extra year. I think you can now, but at the time when I took it and it ran out, and I applied for it again, DJI told me that I'd already had my Care Refresh and I couldn't have it again. I don't know if they've... So I think they've changed the policy now. But back then when I did it, that was what they told me. And I didn't question it or go into a big fight about it or anything. I just thought, fair enough. And I looked for other insurance. So anyway, back to the story. Where was I? Cheers, Stevie. Cheers for that, right? Don't forget, I'm a fiddled, muddled old man now who's suffering for long COVID, and I can hardly multitask two things. Never mind try to follow a chat and talk at the same time. Right, let me re-get my thoughts back. Right, I think I remember where I was. Lassie came down for some still unknown reason, and her gimbal broke. And I sent her off to get through my cover drone insurance. I made a claim. The emails went back and forth, and the documentation they required went back and forth. I'm making a video out of this, as I said. And that process started to happen. So then, while Lassie was away, I took Laddie out my DJI FPV and flew him. I was trying an experiment with some new settings, some new... I forget what you call them now, the speed settings, whatever they're called. And I crashed him as well. So I made another claim to Cover Drone and said, I've crashed this FPV drone, went through the same procedure of setting out the claim, the forms and sending them all the information they wanted. And it went faster the second time because I'd just done it a couple of weeks earlier and I knew exactly what they would want, so I had it all prepared, you know, flight logs and videos and pictures and things like that. So I sent that all to them, okay? And a couple of weeks later, I got an email through, and this was let me stop there a wee. Well, I know, I'm going to be making a whole video about everything. So let me just tell you the kind of outcome. I'm going to show you here, if I can fin it. Right, my preparation was great. Right, so the way Cover Drone insurance works is, you take your insurance with Cover Drone, and if you have a crash or a mishap or whatever, you put in a claim, and then they get in touch with their repair specialist, who's Heligai, and I'm sure most of you will have heard of Heligai before. Heligai is a company that sells all drone tech equipment and does repairs and different things like that. Well, Cover Drone use Heligai as the repair specialist, so what they do is they just send the information to Heligai, and they're out of it. Heligai then corresponds with you. And I got a few I got a phone call actually asking me what happened and da. And I had a good chat with them. Really, really friendly people at Heligai, really helpful as well, very efficient but nice. So they told me, send it to us and we'll have a look and blah blah blah. And I did that, and the next day I got a phone call saying, look, we're going to send this off to DJI because we are. They just did. And they'll probably just send us a replacement direct, right? So I know I'm getting beaten round about. I'm running round about the houses and the fields and the hedges with this story, but it's quite an interesting ending, and I'm going to show you here. So I got this email in, when was it? 27th of October. This is the 30th. So 3 days ago, I got this email in from Heligai, and I'll just show you now. Here it goes. Right, and it says, Dear Robert, good news, DJI have replaced your drone under warranty, and this is no longer a Cover Drone claim. You will only need to pay postage and an admin fee of £42.50, and we will organise the return of your drone to my address. There you go. Right, so let me bring my face back up. Right. So in effect, I got a brand new replacement DJI FPV for £42.50, right? Which is fantastic, okay? And it means that I also got an email from a cover drone. I don't know if I have it prepared here or not. No, I don't. Right, and I also got at the same time, I think it was the same day or the day after, maybe, the day after, I got an email from Cover Drone saying that because DJI had replaced the drone, they were dropping my claim, so I wasn't going to be, I didn't have to pay the excess, and the claim wouldn't be registered that I had made a claim, so there'd be no premium increase or anything like that. And it basically cost me £42.50 to get a replacement FPV drone. So what's the point of this? Why am I waffling? Why am I telling you all this nonsense going on and on and on? Here's why I'm telling you it. Do you really need insurance? Do you really need any kind of care refresh or anything? Because had I just sent Laddie, my FPV drone, after it crashed to Heligai, would he then just have sent it off to DJI and they would have replaced it, and it would cost me £42.50 admin fee? Because it hasn't gone through the insurance now. Cover Drone have told me there's no insurance claim here, we've dropped it. We've cancelled your claim. So, you know, £100 or £150 for the initial cost, plus £100 or £150 for the excess. You know, I had expected to pay in the region of £300 to get Laddie back, either repaired or replaced, and in the end it cost me £42.50. So, although I have to big up Cover Drone Insurance and I have to big up Heligai and say that they're both fantastic companies, it's a double-edged sword, because now I'm saying, do you actually need to take the insurance and pay for insurance? I don't know. I mean, I'm now in the position where my Cover Drone insurance for Laddie is due on the 17th of November, and I've had an email reminder, and I'm now thinking, do I really want to pay the £100 or £150 or whatever it is, I can't remember, to buy the insurance? Because if I have a crash with them again, is it only going to cost me £42.50 to get them replaced, and therefore I could save myself the insurance? So I don't know what to do. So once this live stream becomes a video, please go back into it and put in the comments your opinion, because I'd like advice, I'd like opinions, I'd like to know what all of you people think, what you would do in that situation. Would you renew your insurance, or would you just say, well, I'm not going to bother insuring it, and if it comes down, I'll just send it to Heligai and get a repair or replacement there? Because it may very well be a hell of a lot cheaper to do that than it will be to take the insurance and then have to pay the excess. What do you think? Let me have a look at your comments to see if anybody had anything to say about that long-winded rant that took me about 15 minutes. Right, I'll have a look through here. Blah, 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 blah. I'll just say hello. I'll say a few hellos while I'm here. So, hello to Caroline. Odd, I was unwell all last weekend. Do better now. I think it's possibly the long COVID. I was really bad, Caroline, last week, and I shouldn't be. I said to the members in the video that the reason that I really couldn't do is because I had to take some seriously strong medication that I had left over I suffer from kidney stones, and I had to take some serious medication, which just sent me, I couldn't see in a straight line, so there's no way I could live stream. I couldn't see what I was doing. Okay, so Simply Scotland's asking me 2 hours to make up for last week. No, you don't, because at 8 o'clock there is the Drone Seekers International live stream happening, and I like the guys there. They're not my friends because I haven't met them yet, but I like to think that they could be my friends in the future. And if I was to run over past 8 o'clock, then any chance of them being my friends in the future are thrown out the window. And I know a lot of people here who tune into this live stream like to nip over to the Drone Seekers International live stream at 8 o'clock. So No, I wouldn't be doing a 2 hour stream, and I'm not up to it. Honestly, not up to it. I'm 1 hour after 1 hour. I'm, lying down in my bed. I know you're thinking you're only sitting there in your arse talking. How can that tire you out? Trust me. After an hour of this, I'm lying in my bed. Anyway, so Graham, you got your COVID booster yesterday. You're not feeling good today. I'm sorry to hear that, Graham. When I got my COVID booster back last summer, I think it was, or maybe the summer before, I can't remember, it hit me really bad too. I actually made a wee video about it. If you look back to, I think it was maybe about a year ago, you'll see a wee video of me not feeling too well at all with my booster. So I sympathise with you, and I know where it comes from. Right, Mark has, I don't know, has put his channel up in the chat. I don't know if I can bring that up in the, oh god, I clicked on it, Mark, and it took me straight to your channel. I can't highlight that for some reason. I don't know what. Oh, I can. There you go. So that's Mark's YouTube channel. So after this live stream, don't go the new, right? Wait until I'm finished. Nip over to Mark's and watch some of his videos. Subscribe and give him some clicks. See, that would be nice. Right, okay. Paul Taylor managed to dodge the COVID-19. Paul, my wife and I managed to dodge it for 2 years, over 2 years, and then we got it. My wife blames herself. She went on a hen night, and it was the first night out she'd had in 2 years, because she has to keep herself very careful because of the job that she has. And she went out and came back with COVID, and of course I got it then. But 2 years we dodged it too. And now I'm suffering with long COVID. Anyway, right. So a few hellos. Mary Turnbull says hi, hello. Mark Brock, just subscribe to Mark's channel. There you go. Well done, Mark. There you go. 2 Marks in the channel. Well done. Thank you for that. Right, Simply Scotland says, I'm currently waiting for Cover Drone to send me back my Air 2S. Excess was £50. It'll be coming from Heli Guy, I presume there, Simply Scotland. That's who does it. Excess is 50. Okay, that's good. I mean, imagine you had to go and buy a new Air 2S. I don't know how much they are, but you're talking, I would say, £1,000 or £800 to £900, and it's cost you 50. So yeah, good deal, I think. Right, Morpheus sleeps. Subscribe to Mark's channel. Well done, Mark. You're going to have more subscribers than me by the end of this. Right, so thanks very much everyone who's jumped over to Mark's channel and subscribed. That's awfully nice of you. Right, Derek says, I may have it wrong, but the insurance is not just about replacing your drone. I think it is in this case, Derek. There is another type of insurance you can get, which is public liability insurance, which I have. Don't know if I've got my card here or not. Yeah, I have. I'll make sure my real name is covered up. It's public liability insurance you can get there, and I've got that. It's £12 million worth of public liability insurance, which means that if any of my drones drop out there onto a car or property and damage it, or people and damage them, then that covers me. And you see a lot of these frauditors who are going about who don't have it, right? And some of the industry say, if your drone drops out of the sky onto our unit, and they go, well, it does, blah, blah, it doesn't matter. I don't want to get into the whole auditor thing, although I am going to. Later on in my agenda, I'm going to mention that, but I don't want to mention it just now. Right, okay, so let's just go on. Right, I think that's us at the end of the chat. The chat's changed since Mark came in and started modding it, so it's much smoother and much easier for me to manage now. So thanks very much for that, Mark. Right, the next item on my agenda. What time is it? 20 past. The next item on my agenda is the insurance video. So yeah, let me just finish up on that one. I'm going to be creating a video. I said this in my live stream 2 weeks ago and the one before that, I think, so I'm just really repeating myself. But a lot of you guys and gals are old like me, so you've probably forgotten what I said 3 weeks ago. So I can repeat it, and you think it's the first time I've said it. I'm going to be making it'll be a long video about the whole process of getting the cover drone insurance and then claiming, and all of the information they'll require you to send, and how long it takes and what it costs. And I've got all of the emails and the flight logs and everything there to put into the video. So will be quite a long video, I think, maybe about 20 minutes. And I've started to work on it, and hopefully I'll get it out maybe by next weekend, depending on how it goes. You may have noticed that I haven't published a single video this week. A combination of reasons for that. One, the weather has been horrendous. I haven't had a chance to get out, and I'm coming up to that. That's a wee thing I'm going to be saying in a minute. I'm going to show you a wee video of when I did go out and try to fly and how I couldn't. That'll be coming up in a minute, well, a few minutes. But and the other thing is I haven't been too well. I've been feeling quite poorly, so you know that's why I haven't published any videos for those two reasons. Right. Anyway, John Wheatley, way back at the beginning of the chat here, before I was even in the chat, I think you mentioned something. Let me scroll back and see if I can find it. John Wheatley, here you go. Away back here before the chat before the live stream started, you asked what are the thoughts on wide angle lenses for the Mini 3 Pro. Right, so funnily enough, I was going to talk about that tonight, and one of the things I'm going to mention is that I haven't updated Caledonia, my Mini 3 Pro, yet to the latest version, and the reason for that is because I haven't had her out to fly since the update came out. So let me drop the screen down and show you one of the updates. I haven't done this yet, but one of the updates for the Mini 3 Pro is, and it's where the arrow is, added support for using a wide angle lens. As you can see there, just here where the arrow is, pink, that one there, right? So there's a couple of things that interest me in the updates, right? This one, the added support for adjusting the style parameters with the sharpness and noise reduction. I think that's going to be quite interesting. And the added support for wide angle lenses is interesting to me. I'm not interested so much in the portrait mode. It's not called quick shots, it's called I don't know what it's called. the multiple quick shots that it's all put together. Is it aimed to know what that's called? It's called something. I thought I had in my agenda to talk about that a wee bit, but it's not there. Aye. Right, the portrait mode, you can now use it to do the fancy, not the quick shots, but the big quick shot thing. The master shots. Thanks very much for that, Borders Drone Seekers Brian. I'm assuming that's you. Thanks very much for that. You can now do master shots in portrait mode. And John, who's one of the members here, Blair Air is his YouTube channel, has produced a video a couple of days ago showing all of us the master shots, an example of the master shots in portrait mode. So if you want to have a look, and I wouldn't be doing it. I've got no interest in portrait mode whatsoever. I don't want to do TikTok, I don't want to do shorts, I don't want to do Instagram, so I've got no interest in it. But John at Blair Air, that's his channel. Mark, I don't know if you can stick his John's YouTube channel in here, a wee link to it, Blair Air. If you can, that would be great. John has produced a video just a couple of days ago that shows you the full master shots in portrait mode. So if you want to see that, jump over there and have a look at it. I wouldn't be doing it. But anyway, back to my point about John Wheatley's question here, which was about the what do we think about wide angle lens? Well, funny you should say it, John, but I do reviews of Freewell filters, as you know. Freewell send me the filters. They don't sponsor my channel. They don't pay me. All they do is send me the filters, and I'm free to review them and as however I want. I can tell you they're good, they're bad, they're rubbish, they're this, they're that, whatever I like. But I generally don't tell you whether they're good or bad or not. What I generally do is, and you'll know this if you watch my review videos, I just put up the video with the filter on and the video without the filter on to give you a comparison, and then you can at least then see what it looks like. Well, Freewell are sending me 2 new filters. It's a wide angle filter that they've produced and an anamorphic filter. that they're sending me. And sorry, a wide angle lens, and oh, Caroline, like, can I click that up? You did interrupt me, but I'm going to retain this as much as I can. Thanks very much for that super chat. I don't know why I normally get the wee. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's popped up there. I like that. I'm rubbish at doing this. Ding ding ding. I like that wee thing. Thanks very much for that, Caroline. I really appreciate it. Especially as I haven't made very much ad revenue this week because I haven't put any videos out at all. So that helps. Thanks very much. And I have lost what I was going to now. Master Shots. Wide angle. Right, aye. So Freewell are sending me a wide angle lens and an anamorphic lens. And Freewell's lens have a little attachment on the Freewell's wide angle lens and the anamorphic lens that they're sending me have a little attachment at the front that allows you to put ND filters on as well. So they're sending me those and they're arriving on Tuesday. I've been tracking them. They're coming from China and I'm tracking them and they're arriving on Tuesday. So John, I don't know if you said you had ordered a set at 29 quid or you'd ordered a lens at 29 quid. I don't know if you actually paid for it yet or not. You might want to just hold on just a tiny wee, just a couple of days if you can. And I'll do a review for you. I'll be doing it on Tuesday when they arrive. I'll be trying to do it for this week. Maybe Thursday or Friday, get the video out, and I'll show you what the difference between the normal lens and the Mini 3, the footage through the normal lens and the footage with the wide angle lens, and I'll also put on the filters and I'll weigh it. I intend to put them on scales and weigh the whole thing with the anamorphic lens and then with a filter on too. Freewell have emailed me and have assured me that in their tests, their weighing tests, they are still not over 250 grams. So that means they're probably 250 grams. But I'll be testing it for sure to find to see if that weight takes you over, which may not make any difference. It doesn't make any difference to me because where I fly, I'm nowhere near property or buildings or anything anyway. So I can fly over 250 grams, but it may affect you if you fly in built up areas or you're used to flying in areas where you have to be closer than 150 metres to buildings or people or wherever you fly. I don't know, you all fly in different places. I hope you can all still hear me. I feel my voice starting to fade a little bit. I'll try my best to keep it up. Oh, and here's another thing while I'm talking about my age. I'll just cover this up. It's my birthday on Tuesday. Sorry, it's not. It's my birthday on Thursday, right? Because my wife's taking me away for a wee spa weekend. A spa day or two. On Thursday, it's my birthday. I'm turning 60. And in the press, in the post, I've already received my bus pass, my senior citizen bus pass, which allows me free travel in the buses. So I'm 60 next Thursday, and I think I brought that up because we were talking about how we forget things, or I don't know because I've forgotten. Anyway, right, where was I there? Right, so that was talking about the wide angle lens and the anamorphic lens, which I like the anamorphic lenses on my DJI. The wee thing I use, this thing here, forget what you call it now, DJI Pocket 2, right? I like the anamorphic lens on that. I like the wee effect. It gives you a kind of wide screen. You get that border at the top and the bottom of your screen, and it looks quite nice. Well, the anamorphic lens for the Mini 3 will give you the same effect when you're flying, so you can make a right cinematic movie looking bit of footage with that anamorphic lens on, I hope. So I'll be testing those after they arrive. And I'll put the video up and you can see, and that way it'll mean that this update about the added support for using wide angle lens will become relevant to you if you decide you're going to be using it, right? Okay, so there we go. So that was the next point on my thing, my agenda. Right, so before I get to the next part, which might be a bit controversial, I don't know. Before I get to the next part, let me just have a quick wee look through the chat to see if there's anything I need Paul's asking if DJI will make a Mini 4. I expect they will, Paul. I mean, they're not going to say that the Mini 3 is the last iteration of the Mini, the DJI Mini that we're ever going to see for the rest of time. So yeah, I expect the next one will be the Mini 4, unless they change the name and call it the Teensy Weensy 1 or something. I don't know, but yeah, I expect they will, and I look forward to seeing it. Hopefully, the next iteration of the Mini will have side sensors, because they're going to be much more useful, I think, than back and forth, back and forward sensors, front and back sensors. Side sensors are going to be really useful, especially if you're doing an active track in parallel, and the drone is flying along, sideways alongside you. So I expect the next Mini 4, if that's what they want to call it, will have something like that. Right. I'm just quickly scanning through the chat here to see if there's any questions that I need to answer. I think there's a way of putting an @Windswept Robert with a question. If you want to specifically ask me a question, and it might highlight us in the chat. So I don't really know. As I say, Mark's my mod, and I don't know much about it. But if there's a particular question you want to ask me, and I'm not getting to it, I think if you do that, put @Windswept Robert, it might highlight it or something, and I can see a question. All right. Oh, guys, is 59 on Bonfire Night. That's 2 nights after my birthday. So you're a year and 2 days younger than me. So you're the young man in here tonight. Right, Alpha Drone says, do you think the Mini 2 has better range than the Mini 3? Alpha Drone, there are quite a few videos on my channel where I test the range of the Mini 2 versus the range of the Mini 2. The Mini 3. And I also test the range of the Mini 3 using the 2 different controllers, the RM330, which is the one with the screen, and the RCN1, which is the one that doesn't have the screen that you use normally with the Mini 2. So go and have a look at those videos, and you'll be able to see for yourself what the best range is. And the range is down to the signal strength, because although the Mini 3 can fly for longer, the battery time, it gives you a longer flight. Your distance that you're flying is more to do with the signal strength than the actual battery length. So if you go and watch those videos, and you'll get the answer to your question there. I can't remember what the answer is off the top of my head. I think, I don't know. It depends on what configuration you use. Whether the Mini 2 you have to use the RCN1 with, and the Mini 3 depends whether you use the RM330 or the RCN1. You'll get different results. Go and have a look. I've tested everything. I've tested all, every parameter that I can possibly think of testing, I've tested. So go and have a look and you'll see, right? So Mark is saying, put the @ symbol before someone's name to tag someone, right? I don't know if that'll highlight it for me on my screen so that I'll be able to see there's a question and get to it any quicker or not. But Stevie's done an @Mark Sullivan. Somebody do an @Windswept Robert for me, will you? And that way I can see if it pops up as a, if it's coloured or highlighted or anything like that. Gerard McGlinchey, you cheeky bastard. 69th. 60. I'm 60, no 69. Just go to the bus pass, right? So 69, you. Right. Oh, there you go. So when Mark put that up, on my screen it was highlighted in orange, right? So if you've got a particular question you want to ask me, do @Windswept Robert and then ask your question, and what will happen is it will come up in orange, a big orange block in my screen, and that way I can get straight to it rather than scrolling through looking for any questions. They'll pop up straight away, I think. Caroline, don't know what you meant to be fickle there. That's obviously something that's going on in your in the chat earlier on. That's fine. I'm going to move it. Coming up to 20 to 8, so I'm going to move along now to the next point on my agenda, which was 0.6. I hope you're all paying attention. Someone's taking notes. Right. For those of you, Caroline, I'm sorry here, right? Sorry, I'm going to upset you a wee bit now, right? For those of you who watch Geeks Banner YouTube channel and watch Sean, my name was brought up in one of his live streams this week. I didn't actually see it, I didn't watch it, but Mark let me know my name had been brought up. There's a question asked about me, and Sean responded on air to it. So, for anyone who hasn't seen that, I'm going to play that wee clip now. I haven't got Sean's permission to play this, but I think it's going to be under fair use. And if he wants to give me a copyright claim or strike me, I'll let you all know. But I think he'll be all right. So I'm going to show you this wee clip, and it only lasts for about 20 seconds, I think, because I want to make some comment on his response. So let me bring the screen down. Oh, let me get rid of Caroline's fickle. Right. Okay. Gerard, you just said at Windswept, and that didn't highlight. It'll have to be at Windswept Robert for it to highlight, right? Okay, anyway, so let me drop the screen down now. Bang. And let me start this, and hopefully you'll be able to hear it. Here we go.
I hope that helped. Let me know in the chat if it didn't. HPC Copy, hi, good to see you. Windswept Robert has...
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't realise there was going to be videos popping up. Let me see if I can get rid of it. Jeez. Right, here we go.
Has the video where he lost a Mini 2 over a Scottish bog and then argued whether it was VLOS when he was 2,400 meters from the drone. Plenty around. Yeah, and this is the thing as well. And one thing I would warn of, and there's one of the reasons why when people send me videos of auditors or other channels or anything else like that and say, oh my god, look at this video, it's very rare that you'll see me actually analyze or comment on the video, and there'll be a few factors that are involved as to why I'm actually commenting or I'm analyzing a specific drone video, mostly because you actually don't really know what's going on when that video is being made. Also, bear in mind, a lot of the content is made for entertainment purposes, and always what's actually happening on screen isn't necessarily what's actually happening. I'm not saying that about Windswept Robert's videos at all. I'm not saying that about that video at all, or with the and I'm not agreeing with the message that's being put out in terms of 2,400 meters somehow being VLOS, although I've not seen the video myself. But I'm just saying sometimes there's more happening in the background there. Gilly.
Right, let me bring my handsome face back up. Okay, so the reason I wanted to play... Oh, hold on, Graham, thank you very much for that super sticker. I think it's a super sticker or a super chat, I don't know. But thanks very much for that anyway. I really appreciate it. And as I said, when Caroline super chatted me her wee one, I don't have any ad revenue this week at all because I didn't go out and make videos. So thanks very much. It really helps. Okay. So while the reason that I wanted to show that little clip there is because what Sean said I agree with, right? And I've actually commented on his live stream. I put quite a lengthy comment, and he replied a short but polite response. And I agree with what he said. My channel is in the entertainment category, okay? And what I said to Sean was, you're right when you say that what you see on the screen isn't always what's happening in reality. For example, did Christopher Reeve actually fly? Or was that special effects and editing? Okay, so the reason that I'm mentioning this is because you are discerning viewers. You're all intelligent, clever, wise people. You've lived to a ripe old age, most of you in here, to gain that wisdom. And you can tell the difference, right? But the point is, I have created a few videos where I have shown that the telemetry on the video doesn't match what's actually happening in reality. And I've made those videos specifically to show you, well, not to show you, but I've made those I made those videos specifically to prove, in case in the future anything happened where someone would accuse me of flying beyond 500 metres, for example, and maybe try to take me to court over it. I made those videos specifically for in the event that that would happen, to show that you cannot rely on the telemetry or anything that's on the video. You can't rely on that being what's actually happening in reality. So Sean has acknowledged that, and he agrees with that. It's an entertainment channel, and you can't rely on it. Someone has claimed that I was flying at 2,400 metres beyond visual line of sight. There's no way that they can know that for sure. First of all, even if the drone was at 2,400 metres away, that doesn't mean it's beyond visual line of sight. My eyesight is really good. Also, strobes are very effective in lighting up a drone at 3,000 metres away and further. We all know this. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. And if anyone wants to go over to Geeks Vanna's live stream, and where I made a comment, quite a long one, just saying thanks for that, Sean, and a few other things. You might want to comment there too. I don't know. It's up to you. I know Caroline won't be going over, but there you go. Right. So, got plenty of time left. I'm ripping through my agenda tonight, right? So I've got another wee bit. What have we got next? What's the next on the agenda? Right, okay. So moving on from, or segueing, is it segue? Segueing nicely from the reason why I felt a year and a half ago it was important to create videos showing that the telemetry didn't always match the reality of the distance that the drone is. In fact, in one I think the very first one I ever did a year and a half ago, where I say CAA, I've got a picture of me like this, or something like that. CAA, reported to CAA for flying beyond VLOS. That's a thumbnail, something like that. And I made that a year and a half ago, and I show that the drone's, I don't know, a kilometre and a half away according to telemetry, but I turn the camera around and there's Lassie right there. Okay, I don't know why I said that. Because right. So the next thing on my agenda is the police. Remember the police came to my door, right? Oh, hold on a wee minute. I've got... All right, I'll put that in pause just for a second. All right, no, I wouldn't bother with that. It's another wee cover drone thing that I'm going to be adding into the video that I'm making. So I don't need to have it there just now. Right, let me get rid of that and get to the next thing. Right, the police came to the door, as I'm sure you're aware. I mean, the video has done quite well. I think it's well over 100,000 views at the moment. And I'm not particularly all about the views, but it's nice when you get views like that, because, you know, it kind of validates the whole point of making videos, you know, that people are interested enough to watch them. Anyway, so the police came to the door, and since they came, I'm pretty clued up on the laws. It's Scottish law and how it works. I actually worked for the police for many years. I wasn't a police officer, but I worked with the police in police stations, and I wouldn't tell you what I did, but I did. So I do know the law, Scottish law, pretty well. I was also a prison officer, and I had to know the law for that. So anyway, so I know the law pretty well, but there was a couple of things I wasn't 100% sure of, and I have since checked on the section that the police quoted me when they came to the door. I'm going to bring it up on the screen just now. If you remember, at first the male officer quoted a section that related actually to licensing laws for alcohol and applying to your local council for them. So he was completely wrong. But the female officer eventually, after Googling it for about 4 minutes, got the right section. Here it is. This is the section here, right? It's the Criminal Procedure Scotland Act 1995, and it's section... it's section 13, right? And it tells you here that where a constable has reasonable grounds for suspecting that a person committed or has committed an offence any place, right? And they are claiming that they're investigating because they have a suspicion, they've got reasonable grounds to suspect I committed an offence, right? They can, I have to, the police may require the information of the person's name, the person's address, date of birth, place of birth, and the person's nationality. Okay, right. Let me bring my face back up. So, under Section 13, the police, if they're questioning anyone, they can stop you in the street and demand these 5 things from you: name, date of birth, place of birth, nationality, and address, right? And you have to give them it. But there's a few things that they said, well, he said, that aren't quite true, right? First of all, he said that if you don't give me these things, you may be arrested. And I asked him specifically, if you watch the video, see, I specifically asked, I said, it says I may be arrested. Is it your intention to arrest me if I don't give you these details? And he said, yes. Well, here's the next part of that. That's the first part, Section 13, right? And I didn't have enough room in the page. So here's the next page. As it continues on down, you can see here that if I don't provide him those things, first of all, it says, if I fail without reasonable excuse to do so, shall be guilty of an offence and liable on summary conviction to a fine not exceeding level 3. And I think that's about £2,500. I'm not sure, right? So when he said that I could be arrested, that was a lie. It was either he was mistaken, and he is not allowed to be mistaken when he's telling someone that he's got grounds to arrest you. He must be right, and he was wrong. Right, so he was wrong, so he was lying, or he was just completely inept. So that's the first thing. I could not have been arrested for that. It would have been could have been an offence that they could have reported to Procurator Fiscal, and if I had been convicted of that offence, then I could have been fined, and that's all. But here's the thing. Let me go back to the first page, which is the bit that the cop, and I say cop with a bit of derision in my voice, what he didn't say, and he must have known because he's a cop and he has to know this. It says here, where a constable has reasonable grounds for suspecting the person committed or is committing an offence, he may require that person, if the constable finds him at that place or any place where the constable is entitled to be. Can I highlight that? Where the constable is entitled to be. You see that? The constable was not entitled to be on my property without a warrant. I could have at any point said, get off the property, I'm telling you nothing. And there wouldn't have been a single thing they could have done about it. Now, he knew that. And if he didn't know it, he needs to go back and be trained again, because it's his job to know that, right? Especially if he's citing Section 13 as the section that he's going to arrest me on, which he couldn't arrest me anyway. But if he's citing that one, he has to know it. So he knew that he was not entitled to be there, and therefore couldn't ask me those 5 things. Now, I didn't know that at the time. So I gave the 5 things: my name, my address, my place of birth, my date of birth, and my nationality. And I did that because he said he was going to arrest me if I didn't, which he couldn't lawfully do. It would have been an unlawful arrest, and I could have had his job, pension, and sued him, which I don't want to do, right? The guy just either made a mistake or didn't know what he was talking about or lied. So I just wanted to bring that up, because if this happens to anyone else in Scotland and they try to use Section 13 against you to get your name, address, place of birth, date of birth, and nationality, if they are asking you at a place where they're not entitled to be, for example, on private property where they don't have a warrant, you can tell them to sling their hook, as an English phrase there. I think it's a Cockney one. Sling your hook, mate. You wouldn't say that in Scotland. You say, get the in Scotland. But you can do that, okay? Now, I didn't know that at the time, but I know it now. So if they do come back, I'll have my camera and I'll video the whole thing. And eventually, when they come to ask me for my details, I'll ask them if they have a warrant to be on the property, and they'll say no, say like get off. If they refuse to go there, then trespassing. If they refuse a second time, I think it's aggravated trespass. And I'm pretty sure I'll look into it. But I'm pretty sure that gives me the power to forcibly remove them, and I'll do it with a camera on, and they'll fight back. But it'll be good. It'll be a good video. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that one up and let you know that I have looked into things and I have learned a lot more than I knew before. Now, I don't think this is going to go anywhere anyway. I mean, it's crazy. The whole thing is crazy. And I haven't heard anything, and I don't think I will. But just in case, I am armed better than I was before. Right, so we're coming up to 7 minutes to, and I've got two more wee things. Well, one more agenda point here. So let me have a wee drink of Lucozade first. And what we'll do is I'll have a quick look through the comments. Because I know when I first started doing these live streams, I spent a lot of time looking through the comments, answering your questions, and I think a lot of people like that. And I haven't been doing so much of that just now, and I'm sorry. Oh, Graham, that super chat you gave me was for petrol or Lucozade. Thank you. I go through at least one bottle of this a day at the moment. Sometimes 2 bottles a day. Surprised I'm not putting on a lot of weight because there's a lot of sugar in them. But thanks, I do appreciate that. Right, so here you go. Paul says, have you been misleading us all along? Paul, I can only reiterate the fact that this is an entertainment channel that I run, okay? You know what I'm saying, right? What you see on the screen isn't always what's happening. Now, you have to decide for yourselves, when I do a range test, is it authentic? If I said right now my range tests are authentic, then I would be admitting to flying certainly beyond 500 metres. I wouldn't be admitting to flying beyond visual line of sight, but I would be admitting to at least flying beyond 500 metres. So I can't do that. I can't tell you that the videos that I put up, the range tests, are genuine and the telemetry is actually reflecting what the drone has been doing. I can't say that for legal reasons. You have to make your own minds up, and I think you can make your own minds up about what's happening on the screen, can't you? Of course you can. Right, Dave, hope you've had a good week. Aye, Dave, nice chatting with you on Facebook Messenger. I enjoyed that and enjoyed the chats, and we will arrange what we were talking about. That's got to happen, okay? Because Dave Cullen has got some. He lives up near Edinburgh, and he's got some fantastic pictures. With his drone, he's more a photographer than a videographer. Some fantastic pictures on his site of Edinburgh and the lights and some of the places around there. So if Dave, I'm sorry, I don't know the name of I can't remember the name of your YouTube channel, but if you just look up Dave Cullen Photography, it might come up in the YouTube channel. Dave's got some nice stuff, and I'll have further chats with you in Messenger as the week progresses, Dave. Right, I have to move on a bit. I've only got 4 minutes. Right, I just want to show you this thing here. As I said, I had 2 reasons for not making any videos this week. One was that I haven't been feeling too well, and it's walking a couple hundred yards really takes it out of me, right? But the second reason, and the more important reason, is because the wind has been terrible. We've had a lot of rain, but the wind has been terrible too. Thanks for putting that up, Mark. I'm assuming that's Dave Cullen's thing. I don't know if it is, but aye, Dave's channel. So I'm going to. I actually did some filming when I was out there, and I did an introduction to the video, but I had to abandon the video because I put Lassie up and I flew her out 10 feet or something like that, and she wouldn't come back. The wind was blowing her. She was full throttle back and she wouldn't come back. I had to actually go and get her, so I abandoned the video. But I've got the initial footage, and I've got a couple of minutes left, so I'm just going to show you the initial footage of the video that I abandoned to show you what the wind's like. So have a wee look at this. Why is it not playing? Oh, it's not playing. Oh, why is it not playing? I don't know. Ah, to hang. Oh, that's a shame. Will this one play, maybe? No, none of them are playing. Right, I'll maybe. Sorry about that. I had to set up early and it was working fine. Maybe a wee connection has come loose or something. It's just no. I don't know why it's not working. Doesn't matter anymore. We're almost out of time. But as you can see there, well, you can't see because I've turned the thing off. But if you have a look at the screen there, look at the number of seagulls that are. I mean, they're everywhere. Those birds are actually. I wish it would play so you could see it. Those birds are actually getting blown all over the place. I mean, they are getting blown. This thing here is getting blown all over the place, and it just the wind was really really high. So I was just going to show you that I did try and go out and make a video. I went out in the wind and I tried my best, but I had to abandon it. I'll maybe put a wee video together, about a 60-second video, maybe even make a short out of it and throw it up just to show you that wee bit that didn't play tonight for whatever reason. Right, so that was all. The final point I had was just to tell you what's going to be coming next week during the week and the live stream. I'm going to be getting the anamorphic lens and the wide angle lens from Freeview. I'll be testing those out, giving you a comparison of the normal footage from the Mini 3 compared with the anamorphic footage and the wide angle footage, so you can have a look at it and decide if you want to buy a wide angle or an anamorphic lens. I'll also be putting filters on and weighing them to see what weight that takes the whole drone up to. Okay? And soon after that, I am going to be doing a review on... I'll get 50 seconds. Just bear with me if I can find this thing. I hadn't intended to talk about this, but I will. Right, well, that's not it. I will be doing a review very, very soon in the next couple of weeks on the latest product from this company here. Right, they've got a brand new product out. They've sent me an early version, and I'm going to be reviewing that, and that's coming up in the next couple of weeks too. So thanks very much for coming along with you. Thanks for those of you who gave me the super chats. I really appreciate that. Thanks to everyone. Mark, thanks very much for you, for moderating and making my life a lot easier. So as Dave Cullen has just said there, smash the thumbs button. Thanks very much for joining in, and I'll see you all next week. Thank you.